Earthquakes. Well, gosh. First earthquake I remember was with my parents in Long Beach, California. That was probably 1953. My father grabbed me. I think he was still in his underwear with my mom, and they were like kind of at this hotel, like on the third floor or fourth floor, and they grabbed me and we ran out the door along with everybody else, and they were all standing in their jammies or whatever. The next time was the Sylmar quake of 1971. I remember laying in bed and all of a sudden, I mean, that was a 7.1, maybe more than that. I don't remember, but that was shaking all over. I remember just, getting up, trying to throw in my pants and running out the door, which is kind of stupid. Left a big crack in the ceiling of the place I was staying. I remember the people upstairs, they were, all the booze and everything just, broke all over the place. My parents came over, to see if I was okay. So I remember going to work. I was working for a newspaper called The Ledger. And we were driving down to downtown Glendale, and there were several buildings that had been damaged. I was living in Montrose at the time, and there were a few places that were damaged. And some of the people I knew, and I called them, told them. And anyway, I was sent out to San Fernando Valley to pick up some stuff out there, and I had to have permission. And I told them, the police who I was, and they let me. The old dam was there, and it had a crack in it. And they were trying to keep people out of the area until they could, drain the water. And like I said, the place I was staying was not safe to stay in, so I moved back in, with my family for a while. The next earthquake was in 1986, and that was a Whittier Quake, and I was living, in Glendale at the time with my wife and my son. And it might have been 87 because Heather was born. Anyway, I remember I worked out by Magic Mountain, and I remember sitting in the car, and the car started shaking. I thought, oh, somebody's playing a joke on me. And I looked in the mirror, and you could see it was this lumber yard, and I could see lumber just, like taking off out of the bins. And a couple of workers going, I'm not coming back here again. I'm leaving California, So by the time the rest of the workers came in, we all would like sit around saying, we want to go home. We don't want to stay here. And so I was working for an autistic firm then, and so they took the people back, to the group homes. I got to get home. My wife, apparently, when they had the quake, was holding Heather and another child and kind of rocking back and forth as she was going down the stairs. And so I was glad to get home to them. Our family moved to the desert around 1988, and I remember in 1993, well actually before that, there was probably 91, 92, the Landers quake. But it didn't do too much damage where I was living, in La Quinta. But I remember my church going up and helping some of the people up there, Landers. In 1993 was the Northridge quake, and I was working for Savon at the time. And we felt a little bit of it down where we were, but it was basically around Northridge, Simi Valley. And so I got together with several different workers around the valley working for Savon, and we went out to Northridge, and we helped them in those stores, and it was a terrible mess. And a lot of the people working in stores were, in shock. And I remember the manager saying, grab, anything you want, a shovel, gloves, whatever you need to, get this stuff picked up. And, we had to shovel it up, put it in the trash bins, it was just, what a mess. So we went from the Northridge store to Simi Valley store. And when we got off the freeway, the National Guard basically asking us, what our business was and that we needed to be out of there by sundown. The highway patrol was, like patrolling the neighborhoods. I remember seeing the Northridge Mall and what damage was there, and they had camps for some of the people that were homeless. And remember, some of the houses on one side were leveled to the ground, on the other side they were okay. That night we stayed at the Burbank hotel at the Burbank airport. It was a Holiday Inn. Following day, we spent more time at Simi Valley because there was a lot more work to do there. And they had no place for us to stay. I think it was the Radisson. Somehow the computers had got down, and the only place they could put us up was in Santa Barbara. So we stayed at this real nice place in Santa Barbara overnight. We didn't get there until like 10 o'clock at night. We ended up eating at Jack in the Box, even though they paid for all these hotels and our food and everything. And so, after we came back, they gave us a certificate, thanking us for the work we'd done. And I know the manager was upset with some of the people that weren't married and didn't go, because most of us who did go were married. And, there's been several shakers since then. Nothing bad. But I'm a California boy, and I'm dealing with